Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 592nd episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the podcaster of Hell's Kitchen, Trasnell, and I'm joined by...
I'm Little Wave, Kirkland Patzer.
I'm Dylan Moss.
I'm Pin King, Taylor Field.
Pin King, look at
Pin
that.
King.
Yeah, I'll have to count up. We're getting close to that 600. You know, I'll have to do something special for that episode. Who knows, you know? I thought you were going to say something, Taylor, like you're going to...
You definitely built up to it.
Venom. Anyways, we're gonna get into it because we got some fun topics to talk tonight, and then we also recording our cast after that patrons can get. Which, speaking of patrons, what is it? January. So what's tomorrow? The 5th, right? So on 12th. So you got till 12th. We are running a 7-day, technically 8-day free trial. After that. That is gone. So if you want for the first little bit of the month, you want to dip your toes, especially right now, it's gonna be good because there's gonna be a lot of Golden Geeks, drafts, video previews, stuff you'll be getting early and ad free on Patreon. So you can try out the $5 tier phase 2, and you can try that out if you want to join After 9 this Sunday, 10 a.m. PST. We'll be doing After 9. So the next 7 days, get on it, try it out, and then it'll be locked up back for our nice. Thank you very much for our paying, hardworking patrons, and we hope to see many of you on After 9 this Saturday, and it is After 9, technically 10 a.m. PST, so call in. And then the only thing I'll pimp right now is it's the very first link in this video, and it will be on podcast streams. For the next 2 weeks, we are doing our yearly satisfaction survey. I don't really call it that, but I just still do. It's still not titled that, but people kind of get it. So, click on that. I think there's about 10, 12 questions, something like that, all of a variety of stuff with GeekVerse. What you like what we're doing, what do you think we can improve on, what you absolutely hate, shows you listen to, specific questions about said shows, things you want to see us do. And it's completely anonymous. So even if you have like a little critique and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'd ever want to say this to the guys. No, this is the time to say it. We don't know who it is. And in February, we'll do kind of our yearly town hall meeting. We'll talk about our plans of the years, retrospectives, casts, and maybe some changes we might make based upon said comments and stuff. So we really appreciate that because you guys, gals, everyone in between, you're the people that make this show. You're the people that have got us to, we're going on to 9 years. Without any of you, we would not be here, or at least doing it to the amount where you get 3 to 4 episodes a week. So we always want to touch base with you and say, hey, what are you liking? What are you not liking? And you guys get to steer the ship sometimes. So that's where, please go do that. Appreciate. Probably only take about 5 minutes. Lots of them are like multiple choices and stuff. So it's a nice, easy go around. So is there anything you guys want to pimp out GeekVerse specifically before we get into news, all that good stuff?
No, I'm excited to see those surveys. I'm excited to see the, grill me if you want. Let me know why SideQuest sucks and how it can be better. That's the stuff I'm excited to see. So, yeah.
No pimps for me.
No pimps for you. Yeah. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get it into. So we're talking about some Marvel stuff tonight. We're talking about some, I guess, 2 things. We're doing our Echo predictions. We're going to talk about our best shows of 2023. But we will start off with a Patreon question, which you can do on Patreon at any tier before we go on a cast, because sometimes, obviously, you can't be here for the live show, and that's A-okay. So Clay asked, because our Golden Geeks just prime of overall 2023 is coming up, but we no longer do this category because we kind of, I think the last 2 years of it was just a very measly category as far as worst movie or worst picture, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like it'd be like, oh, have you seen this? No, because all of us said it was bad, so we would just like all have one we all saw, and then all 4 other categories be like, well, I saw this movie and it sucked. Like it was definitely the one that was like the least love given. So we kind of
had its time in the sun.
Yeah,
it's good
exactly.
to refresh the categories every once in a while.
Yeah, I think it was good to kind of give it the Boromir treatment. Put it in a boat, send it off, and then 10 years later, his dad will be like, "Where's my category?"
Can I pitch this live on air? What do you guys feel about adding a category? Horror movie, best horror movie of the year. What do you think?
Because we're getting into the subgenres now.
Well, just that one.
I want to hear specifically why that one. That's what I want to hear.
Well, a couple of reasons. One, I feel like if you look at all of our Golden Geeks nominees, winners from the last few years, I feel like we always tend to have like one horror movie in the best film category. That seems to be like the limit, though, and they never really win. It's kind of just like in there. So I think it'd be fun to just have a more open discussion about that. And I feel like that would be a very different thought for me in terms of like, okay, what's really good at being specifically a horror movie? Or, we'd put like slashers in there. Could have the category be slightly broader, not just specifically like big horror stuff. But I also would just be so curious to see where the patrons vote, where everyone else puts their vote in terms of top movie. So yeah, I don't know. It's something that I think it'd be fun to try.
I think that's where I am. Where am I muted? No, I think that's where I.
You're a
Am I-
little loud. You're a little. You're
Something
a
happened
little-
with
you're a
your
little gainy.
microphone.
Yeah.
A little gainy over here. Travis is going. What do you guys think, Kirkland, Taylor?
You want to go, Kirkland?
No, I want you to go.
Oh, you know what? I think in the celebration of the Blumhouse Atomic Monster merger, I think we should do it. Let's make some. Let's do a horror category.
Sound like you work for them.
That was not one of
The way
my
that you pitched
motivations.
that.
It's also Blumhouse, by the way. It's not Bloomhouse. I don't know. what's
Blumhouse?
blooming
Is it
over there.
Blumhouse?
Blum. Yeah, look at the way it's spelled. I have a problem with English, but I know that one.
BLUM? I thought it was Bloom. Like
No.
Plume.
Blum.
Blum.
Definitely Blum.
Oh, fuck.
Blum like
Blum.
a plum.
Pl-
Well, you
how
know
do you
what?
spell
But I'm
plum?
down. I'll get back to you on that. I think that we should definitely do a horror category. I think that there's definitely a special place for horror movies to be discussed, and I haven't gotten around to seeing like Talk to Me, but there's a few other horror movies that I think that could be just really like prominently discussed and a fun conversation, and it's something new.
I that's why I say we try it, but I think if we have a struggle, am I still really gaining?
You
Right
sound
Something's
awful.
off.
You sound
the
way
wrong
worse than
mic.
earlier. Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
the
Thank
mics
you.
in the
Early
basement. I think that you're
technicals
talking.
over
All
here.
these. Thank you, Dylan. All these guys, but you suck. Your audio's trash. Like, oh, it's the wrong mic. But these guys just fucking catcalling me. I think we try
Gotta
it.
keep you honest.
I think if we have a struggle getting to 5, like we were talking about worst movie, then we don't hit the submit on it. Like we do it live on air. We say, okay, we're gonna do 5, let's do it. But if we get to like 3 or 4, and we're like, oh, like because Taylor's like, I haven't seen Talk to Me, and if we get to like, oh, I haven't seen this, and I haven't seen that, that's where I say
We
we
could.
don't hit the submit button.
What if we made it a top 3 only? Only 3 make it in.
Okay.
Like we did that one year for 2020, where there was like 7 movies that came out, so where you just had to make it harder for each category.
We could do a top 3, or we could do a top 3 and then leave the 4 spot to like a Patreon pick too. Like they could vote on one specifically for themselves, because maybe there's ones that they could put in there, and then if we even haven't seen it, we can go and see it. And I think it would be something we've probably seen. I don't think they're
Right.
gonna be like, oh, the mean one is taking the category. Well, I guess we have seen the mean one, but
Was
I think
that
3
was that officially a 2023 movie? I guess.
yes and
tricky,
no. Yeah, but I don't think we got to worry about it making a top, especially a top 3. Even a top
run
5.
for
be
number
I've
tough.
seen those letterbox scores.
Yeah, I'd be down to give it a run. Only thing is going to be like the classic Nintendo Family game or indie game where it's going to win, like whatever. If one's in Best Picture, is that the automatic winner in the horror
Yes,
one?
but I don't.
right?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about a year. We haven't had that happen. Like the closest. I don't even know what the closest was. Like Hereditary in 2017 was like the closest time. But even that, like, I don't think that was ever going to really win.
I think all of us, at least at one point, other than Taylor, probably thought of the meme pick of voting for Malignant. Like I thought there's
Right,
definitely
that's
a
what you
part of
mean.
me.
So if Malignant is even a nominee, even if there's no chance it's going to win, the fact that it's in that best category overall makes it just feel like the runaway. But that's where I feel like the vote from the patrons would be really interesting to mix it up. Yeah.
I'm down. Horror is my second. It's my favorite genre with, what is it? Superhero stuff.
So you're gonna say musical. Yeah, I'm
Invisible
definitely down
Man.
for this. I feel like it'd be a good time to like have a fun breakdown discussion on like what makes a certain movie scary to each of us. Because I feel like there's certain horror movies that maybe Taylor or Travis will like praise, maybe even Dylan, and then I watch it, it doesn't really do too much for me, or vice versa. So I'm excited
There's
to talk about it.
This might be like a pre-spoiler, but I watched. It's not called Thanksgiving; it's just called Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving, yeah. That should be the sequel.
And
though.
I was like, "There's no world where I'm voting for this as best film." But this is a fucking great horror movie in terms of what it means to be a horror movie.
Mhm.
And so it's like it's like the perfect time for a category like that. And then Taylor mentioned some other good ones that came out this year. So
Well, I was gonna say too, Taylor's probably gonna try and put Saltburn in the horror category, but Chris Balaga, fellow
It's
Saltburner,
not a horror movie.
Interesting.
It's not a horror
But,
movie.
but I don't know, man. If you're a rich person, it is. You got this one person comes
True.
in, just
Keeps you up
systematically.
at night.
Yeah, it's the first cast, Taylor. Like you're outnumbered. You got 3 Saltburners here, and you're just like,
Oh
a
no, I'm
pepper.
always outnumbered.
That's true, actually. Yeah, what am I saying?
Never
that's
outgunned,
that's
though,
in
right?
Geek First. Yeah. SBub says his worst movie of 2023 is the hit Gal Gadot film Heart of Stone. Yeah, I've
wow.
only seen 10 minutes.
that just feels like a 2021 movie that got away. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that was last year at this point.
But no, Dylan, you're kind of right. I was looking at it in 2021 for Best Pictures. We had Last Night in Soho, so it's like our one like horror one.
Right.
Last year we had Nope, but that's like it is horror, but like it's like sci-fi horror. Like I don't
Yeah.
like it is, but like that was the only one. And then in 2020 we did have Invisible Man, but Soul won, so I don't think. anything was going to change there. And then in 2019,
So you could be right. It could be a runaway vote, but I still think it would, even making the category, I think is going to be a fun exercise. So that
yeah.
And then, once again, you throw the patrons in there, and all the votes are up in the air, obviously. So,
Like, and I don't think it's like a horror one, but like the closest horror we've probably had is when Joker won in 2019. Like, that's like the closest we've gotten, but
God.
that's still a comic book movie one, you know. So
I was even salty that we allowed that movie at all, and now it's
allow Joker.
I don't know if salty is the right word, but that definitely brought up some discussion where I was like, this is not a comic book movie. This should not be eligible for what
Yeah,
we
but
do
that
here.
was-
that was
but
a
then we
different
let-
time. That
Yeah,
was a different time, though.
No, that's when we broke the rules because we let Once Upon a Time Hollywood in. That's when we started opening it up. That was started the conversation that year. Is when Joker.
Yeah, because
yes.
I think Joker, definitely got the convo going.
Yeah, and now it's just a open field, you know, which is good,
Yeah.
you know, because this year, would have been maybe a little tough on just the geek side, you know.
Short cast.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Taylor, you're always positive. But let's bring you down. What's the? Oh, better not be. What's your worst film, or just maybe the film that disappointed you the most? People listed in different ways, but
Don't say Saltburn.
thank you, Patreon Play. Yeah, if you do, us three are gonna vote you out of Geekverse like entirely. 75% of the shares.
I'm excited. I get to pull up my list here, which I will say I beat my record. Last year I did 53 films in 2022.
Nice.
This year, 2023, I did 54 films. So,
Have you finished Rebel Moon yet?
yep, I finished Rebel Moon, and I ended my last movie of the year was that Nicolas Cage one called The Retirement Plan. It's actually not too bad.
I saw you
The Ron
log that in
Perlman.
2024 though. That's the questionable thing.
Oh, but I watched it before. That was on New Year's Eve. I snuck it in there. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay,
1201. It was 2024.
3 times speed, go.
But my least lowest movie. Well, it's actually funny when I look at it because my bottom 5 movies of the year have three shark movies at least in there.
That's insane to me.
Shark
Well,
Tales 8.
My least favorite is called Blind Waters. This is on Tubi. It was a free Tubi movie, and this was fucking horrible. It was horrible.
Babacayo.
It was absolutely horrible. But then after that, Meg 2 is above that. Then Black Demon is above that one.
So Meg 2 was bad. You didn't like it.
It is.
It's not. I'd put the first one over it any day of the week. The second one was just. They're killing people off screen that were alive in the first movie. Like it's
What was the Black Demon?
That was the one. I can't remember the actor's name, but his family, he gets stuck on an oil rig, and there's a megalodon that's just like circling around.
Fudge. Okay.
I love that opening. I can't remember the actor's name, but his family. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Now that we've established we don't know the actor, let me just think about his family real quick.
There you go, Dylan. You should check this out. There's already a Thanksgiving movie. I believe it's about a killer turkey. There you
Yeah,
go.
I've seen
Yeah,
that
no,
one,
I thought
actually.
that was a big part of the marketing of that one. That's in my mind. That's what the name of that movie was, but maybe that was just what the poster said or something.
If you want us to review Killing Turkey, join the producer tier like
Pier.
Aaron Braden, April Darkness.
We have a
Smuds.
pier out in
Piers
Kelowna,
now.
out on the water. You can go and stand on the
Don't
pier.
throw,
The
don't throw that
Megalodon out
link.
there.
Don't throw it the brand. April of Darkness, Jack Wright.
Oh, you're asking for a
I was Muds.
preserver there. Okay,
Aaron
hold on.
Braden.
You combine names.
Joshua Wright and
Jack
Jack Grunt. That's what I did. Jack Grant.
Jack
Joshua
Grant.
Wright, yes. You can do that. Yeah, in February, we'll be reviewing Twilight. And because as Bubs did our bloopers and edits and stuff, we will be finally reviewing and watching the Teen Beach movie. So look out for that in a
Nice.
couple months.
Can't
That'll be
wait.
our retrospective. Yeah. So
Good movie.
Mike's worst movie of the year is Cocaine Bear. Just plain
Ooh.
and funny. Yeah, I didn't like that one
I only
either.
got like 20 minutes into it, so it's hard for me to pick it
Yeah.
as the worst because I didn't finish, which leads me to my other one, which was probably Ghosted, but I only watched, once again, 15, 20 minutes because it was so bad. That was Anna
Yeah.
Darmus, Chris Evans movie. Yeah, no good. And so it's either that for me or I'm just going to say it, Ant-Man
Wow.
Quantumania, I think, drops there because at this
bold.
point, like, the only thing I was really into in that movie was Kang, and now that that's not as positive as it once was. So I feel like what's left for me to enjoy about that? And I think it's just, maybe it has the highest disappointment factor instead of actually being like physically the worst, but it's pretty freaking bad. So I'll go with Ant-Man as my pick.
It's funny. In a couple weeks, I'll be doing Marvel Alliance. We yearly do like Marvel predictions, and me, Chris, Brent pick 5. And I was re-listening to get some inspiration on that cast. Chris is like, the box office for Ant-Man projections are good, which they were at the time. And he's like, and I think this is going to be huge on Jonathan Major's back because everyone's such a big fan. She's like, man, how much changed in like less than a year?
It
Like
happened
where we
quick.
were. We're like, oh, Ant-Man's just tracking, and Majors is the future, and in a topic we'll talk about that later. But so Ghost or Ant-Man, hey.
Yeah, I think that's my final. Also, You People was kind of bad, but that wasn't.
That's like a disappointing one, I think,
Yeah, it
right?
was like,
I'd say, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. What about you, Kirk?
I had to pull up my letterbox because Taylor made me curious. I also watched
Curious.
more movies than last year.
Nice.
By
How many
2.
you got?
Last year for 2022, I did 30 films. Very, very low numbers. This year, 32 films. Look at that.
I think I'm at
Nice.
like
Yeah.
40ish, so I'm like right in between.
Okay, nice.
In between you guys.
I feel like I'm like a little peasant compared to you got S Bubs and Travis throwing out their numbers in the Discord. It makes me
10,000.
feel
But even they
pretty
couldn't.
measly.
Last year they had way more than this year, I think, right?
No, I only have 13 less. That's like not
That's
too
a lot.
bad.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
114
That's like
films.
half of Kirkland's total.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, my least favorite film by far is the movie Nefarious. I think I was telling you guys
Right.
about that
Mm.
movie.
Right.
It's just truly, truly awful. It's the whole thing is like there's a demon that's possessing this person that's in jail, and like this investigator guy comes in to just like interview him essentially, and it's just like back and forth. Like I feel like it's a good platform to have some really powerful actors just show off what they got, and this is like the complete opposite of what happened. Like it was just so bland, and I couldn't believe that we didn't turn off the movie. I was watching it with my dad and my grandpa. And
No.
I was like waiting for the Malignant moment when like things just totally change and it becomes like an action movie, and that did not happen at all.
3 generations of Pats or men watching this movie together, and this is the one.
It was weird too because the demon was like going off on like woke culture and just like not even
That's
being like a
weird, yeah.
demon. It was just super like cringy what I was watching. So highly unrecommend that movie. My next one above that was The Outlaws, which I watched like just last week, and man,
God.
that is truly bad. That's the
It's
Adam
like a Wild
Adam
West kind of
Levine
thing.
one. Is that his name? Divine, something like that.
Oh, with Pierce, yeah,
With
I watched
Pierce.
that. Yeah, that's why we watched it. And it's not good. Yeah,
It's so bad. I got
Yeah.
excited when Pierce was in there, but yeah, it's
It's
bad.
called The Outlaws.
The Outlaws, yeah.
because it's about his in-laws, played by Pierce
Oh, okay.
Bronson, someone else, but they're like criminals.
Bank robbers,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like maybe if you find like Adam Devine like really really funny, I think
Yeah.
you'll get it. But it's just not really my humor, and that was like the
Nope.
whole movie on top of just a lot of blandness. So that was that, and then slightly above that, I had like Hypnotic. That was another really bad
Oh
one.
yeah, Hypnotic's bad. S Bub showed that too as like his
Yeah.
second, his 2A as far as being
That's
bad.
what made me think of it. I totally forgot what that movie was. till I pulled
Fuck
up the
that movie.
letterbox and
Yeah,
saw it.
Taylor, you'd love Hypnotic though. I think.
I'm gonna watch it. Kirk, I thought you were talking about this. I was like,
Not
Oh
that
no,
one. No.
no, not that one.
It's on
But the
Netflix.
show.
I saw
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah, no, that's Adam Levine, whatever his name is. He's this generation's like Jack Black for me, but like I'd take Jack Black every day of the week. Like, and I'm someone that I don't love Jack Black's humor, but Adam just doesn't. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just like it's just I cannot. I don't find him funny. It wasn't Pitch Perfect, not in other stuff. So the only last like on that movie was like there's a Shrek segment, and I was like, okay, this is
Okay, yeah.
kind of funny, like this
Best
works.
scene?
But
Best scene?
yeah, not
Best
for the
scene,
year, but
yeah.
best scene in the movie. Yeah. So
I agree.
yeah, I think I've shouted this out before, so I don't go long. My bottom is Xmas, but X like it's a X. It's Robbie and Mel. It's a movie that was shot here in Kelowna. It's a Christmas movie. It's just god awful, but it's not in the like me and Emma are always looking for the so bad it's so good. And this was not. This is just that it's really bad. It just feels like no one cared. Like that's the worst. Like these people got a bunch of money. They went to Kelowna for a vacation. They shot a movie. Like it's one of those where it just feels like all of Adam Sandler's Netflix movies. That's what this
Mhm.
felt like.
Just a vacay.
Yeah, so that one's a Christmas one, so there's like a asterisk, but I still had to put it last because it was brutal. And then my probably real last one is Strays. That movie is fucking awful.
Mm.
The Will Ferrell dog one, because I just like luckily when I'm at homework, there's those movies that I can put on. I'm like, okay, that's out. I'll see what it's like. I just didn't laugh a single. At least with Outlaws, like okay, I had one scene and be like, oh, that was kind of funny. Strays was nothing. It was just like me in a comedy club, and this comedian is just killing the whole room for 2 hours straight, and
Not
just,
a good like killing them with laughter, but just
yeah, no,
boredom,
just
yeah.
bombing, I should say. Yeah, bombing. Yeah, it was. Don't recommend Strays, which Mike, I think you liked them. Sorry, but I'm just not Strays fan. Not for me. So
That's fair.
that is fair. All right, what do we? Taylor, where you want to go first? Do you want to go to Echo? Do you want to go some TV? You want to do the Marvel news? We have 3 topics, and there's Patreon questions sprinkled throughout.
I'd love to start with Echo.
Okay, Echo it is. So Echo is coming out next week. Our review schedule is going to be whenever we're done, we will review it. So it'll either be the Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, whenever it'll be. But it'll be within that week. You'll be getting us because it's only 5 episodes. Drops that Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST. So we will be reviewing all 5. So I was going to ask this as a prediction question, but I'm just gonna lay it all over to Dylan first because he has the experience, and you two will one day, that both Vincent D'Onofrio and one of the more, it's not Foggy, but he is one of the more guys, can't remember his name. Chris, if you're still in the chat, please tell me, or maybe ask Bubs, but one of the more like writers guys in MCU confirmed that the Netflix shows, at least Daredevil, are part of the sacred timeline. So you and me for years talked about, hey, is this canon, is this not? We talked about with She-Hulk, Spider-Man, but it's seeming like now they're going for just saying, yeah, it's canon. Maybe because they just looked
When
at those
Feige
shows.
says it, I'll believe him.
Okay, so that's what I'll ask. But I think the thing is with this show, it sounds like there is connections. There's a new teaser, which we're not going to review tonight, but there is a teaser. The first 30 seconds is all footage from Daredevil with Kingpin. So they're doing, so it looks like, I agree with you, but it looks like they're trying to set
Okay,
the
well
stage
that's some good info. I should have
Yes.
held my tongue.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just too,
I didn't tell you that though, so
Yeah.
that was my bad. So, what do you think about this? It's like I said, I was going to ask this in the prediction question, like, oh, would they connect? But it's seeming like they're kind of setting the stage for it. Looks like they're just going with it. Yep, this is canon, and maybe I don't think anything big's going to be mentioned, but still,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, MCU, it's so messy, and there's been so much stuff, and we kind of forget. Like Moon Knight is in this 616. It's like, in what way is that meaningful? And the answer is like not at all. So I feel like why not? In that, I mean, going back to Daredevil, I've never rewatched it, but I do remember that there was like newspaper clippings of like the Battle of New York and stuff. So obviously in those shows, they reference the movies a little bit, very, very minimally. But it never really happened back. So it's nice to kind of finally see them get the time of day here. And I wonder just timing-wise, because for years and years and years, those shows were still just hanging out on Netflix, and now they're all on Disney Plus. So I wonder if that's part of it too, in just terms of a rights thing where they never really bothered messing with it because Netflix would have probably got a chunk of the pie, but maybe now that's a different thing, and maybe Netflix would get $0 if they can reference that stuff. I don't know how all that works, but I have to assume it's something along those lines. But yeah, I would say it's pretty exciting. I'm curious what that will really mean, if it's just like, okay, we have the origin for a variety of these characters, and that way it makes it easier to just drop a Jessica Jones or Luke Cage or a Punisher in these shows, and we have this backstory where we have the origin already established, and then all that stuff once again is on the same streaming service that you're going to watch Daredevil and Echo on, so you can just go watch those shows if you want to fill in the gaps in that way. But yeah, that's very exciting to me because it just makes it feel like rather than that door just being slightly ajar for those characters to come into the MCU, it just like is wide open, and it's a lot easier. And at this point, once again, with the MCU, it's so big, it's so expansive. There's TV shows and movies and specials that it's the required reading element of it is like impossible at this point. There's no way to be like, oh yeah, just watch like this one thing and you'll be good to go. It's like, it's just such a mess that why not make it even more of a mess and throw all these characters in there? So that's pretty exciting for me. I guess I'm going to keep my expectations low in terms of how meaningful it'll be. But, even then with like Echo being the first kind of R-rated thing and those Netflix shows being very R-rated, yeah, it seems like maybe there'll be some more connectivity to those than we've had in the past with MCU and being kind of more light and fun and quippy and all that.
Yeah, our years paid off,
It's
all
true.
connected.
That was a lot of hard work, man. Some of those weekends just blasting through 12 hours of Jessica Jones in a season that wasn't so good.
Jessica Jones season 3.
Review it on Sunday morning,
Yeah. I think I'm the same as you. I think it's just because they own them now. It's easier just to be like, well, it's ours now. Where before it's like, do we really want people? Like, it's almost like they didn't want people going to Netflix for sure. They want more. Like, we got a Disney Plus coming. We want to be those shows, and at least that tells me for the most part, because we'll see what happens. But like, I always make the joke where Venom came the MCU in his post-credit scene, then the next movie they kicked him out, right?
Yeah.
Where I think
right.
this is like even with the worst stuff of Netflix Marvel, which I don't think there's anything. I think maybe I did fail Jessica Jones, maybe one of those seasons, but like it's nothing bad enough, I guess, for Feige and team to be like, we can't have that, like a part of that. And even then, the connections might just be just primarily for Kingpin, Daredevil, right? Like I still don't think we're going to see Iron Fist. I do think we're going to see Jessica Henwick, though. I think she's going to come back now.
Really? Why that one so specifically?
Just because everyone
she's
loved
like
her.
Bigger star now.
That too, yeah, that too. Like Knives Out, she has that other road trip movie come out. But I just think everyone with Iron Fist, even the people that hated that show, is like, but I really like Colleen Wing. So I just feel like she's like a natural get her. So yeah, I feel like, and that's the thing, I feel like they'll just be like, oh yeah, we heard about you fighting the Hand. Yeah, it's connected to the show, but that could be anything. That doesn't. If you give no context of, oh well, this person had died, you brought this person back. I'm not gonna say because Kirkland and Taylor are hopefully going to be reviewing it. Daredevil season 3 is going into production, or Daredevil Born Again is going into production soon, so they're working on that. But
nice.
So no, I like that. At least get all the characters back. I will be curious though when we get to our first Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Like, you know, does this mean, because so far we've gotten, it sounds like Kristen Ritter's coming back. We've gotten D'Onofrio, we've gotten Cox, we've gotten Berfnall. So it's like, is everyone coming back? I'm curious. It's gonna be what's the first. If there's gonna be a recast, you know, if it's gonna be like, yeah, we don't really, or if they just avoid those characters, right? Like, yeah, we don't need Iron Fist. We got Colleen, we got Shang-Chi. We'll just leave Danny Rand alone for a bit, you know?
Right. Yeah, I guess like depends how you want to look at it, because it seems like I can't remember her name. Elektra from the old movies. What was that?
Yes.
Seems like she's guaranteed to be in Deadpool at this point. So it's like in some world, I guess you could consider that a recast if there's like this new Elektra, even though it's an old Elektra. So. But I don't know if she would be sticking around or just there for a fun cameo. You know?
Well, I think she's going to be specifically the Jennifer Gar or the Fox universe Elektra, right?
Right, which I guess that's not 616. But
No.
I mean, if
bring her
if
over,
she gets
have her
brought
and Fox
into
together.
616, like who knows? We still don't really know what Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
how that's gonna work, right?
Her and Cox together, sure, why not? Let's see what happens. You know,
do it.
maybe they get married, just like her and Ben. You know, pop out a couple kids.
Why not?
Never too late.
It's never too late.
Tell it is.
Yeah, and Super and Mike, they still haven't referenced the ABC shows yet. So, well, it's weird because they say, like you said, Agent Carter, but on Disney Plus, Agent Carter is in the timeline, and Jarvis from that show was in the MCU. So I think Agent Carter is technically canon. I think Agent Shield is canon.
I gotta watch that then.
Do you?
I feel like I should. If it's
I never
canon.
have. If you watch it,
It
let
should
me
be
know.
part of my ranking, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Does that? Oh, does that mean that the Netflix shows are now part of the ranking? I have to rank them. That's gonna be hectic.
I
but
don't,
also
because
fun.
technically then the Spider-Man movies are a part of them. I say my list is like Marvel Studios ranking. That's what I say.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what I go by.
That's
but
fair.
Kirkland, Terry, I know you haven't seen the shows. Any thoughts on this? If not, we can pass. But
I'd say it's nice to know like it's nice to know like rules of engagement going forward on like where these shows kind of lie. But like beyond that, like Dylan was bringing up, like there is just so much convolution, if that's a word, going on right now at the MCU of like trying to pin where exactly things are, because
Pin King,
pin King, exactly. So like I guess now them saying that, it's like, okay, we can at least not necessarily expect, but not be too surprised if some things from the Netflix Daredevil or any of the Netflix shows do pop up.
And does this get you more excited for your watch of it? Because now you're like, okay, at least
I can't wait for our
stuff.
Retro. Is that a retro even? If Taylor and I haven't seen it?
Yeah, it's a retro. It's gonna be 5 years
retro.
old, and you guys haven't seen it, right?
Yeah.
So same thing
can't
as
wait.
I don't know if Dylan's gonna be on, but I think for Joker we'll probably do retro because you, Kirkland, and Taylor were not on the review. So I'm like, well, maybe, and I'll talk about Joker again. So it's 5 years old. You know, that's our rule. We say we don't retro anything more than 5 years less. So it's like, hey, you know, why not? So because that review is just me, Dylan Briggs. Everyone else was gone. They're like,
Right, and then we
I
did the
can't
review
screw
on Greg's show as well. Right?
We did, right? I forgot. That was like our first appearance on Greg's show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as midnight hit, I was like, man, this is the year. Taylor and I are finally doing the the Daredevil retro.
Oh,
Can't believe
bullshit.
it.
They're going to push it to next year. They're not going to do it until we get an actual release date of Daredevil, and they're going to just sink in the. And those ones you should start sooner because it is like, those are some long
It's gonna be like
seasons.
it's gonna be like you and Dylan do it like we'll be having our date on like Sunday, start it
repeat.
Friday night.
Oh yeah, you put that just harsh timeline on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor, less, more excited?
I feel overwhelmed, to be honest. I mean, there's
'Cause the
so
retro?
much. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you got to do it all now.
You've already seen Iron Fist, right? So you've
I've seen
put a bit
all of
time
Iron
into it.
Fist. I've seen season 1 of Jessica Jones, so I got my foot in the door. I would love at some point, just to go and polish off all of those other shows, but Daredevil's the main one.
You
That's
didn't
the
watch
one for
Defenders.
Sure. No, I didn't.
I'm
kinda
surprised by that.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been the
I
one
didn't
you'd
feel
go
like I
for.
could get into it because I didn't watch the other shows prior. So like I didn't like Luke Cage and again Daredevil. I didn't have a lot
And
of
you-
that baseline going in.
And you're not a Frank Castle guy, too. That's like another one you could just start like, oh, I like Punisher, so I'll go.
He does have his own show, doesn't he?
2
Fuck.
seasons, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure does.
They did a lot over there. They did like 8 seasons of Marvel stuff, so it's good, too.
Yeah. So there's that whole small little universe, that street level universe that I definitely want
big,
to
actually.
engage in and dive into. So I'll just have to pick my time for when I do that. But my priority is definitely Daredevil and immersing myself in that. I feel like Hawkeye definitely brought me into the fold. It brought me into this like the Kingpin setting. It brought me
Okay.
the street
The
level
New York.
crime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
trust me, that's not the kid. Like you're
Expect
Marvel
that.
LARPers
Expect
in
that,
Daredevil.
yeah, he's not wearing the big hat and Hawaiian.
Uncle
everything.
Jack, he's in Daredevil. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got all these characters.
I do think though the fact that this has been canonized, like MCU-esque now, I think that's cool. I always took it as that fact back when they released the shows. I just assumed like
Yeah.
okay, this is
Headcanon it.
They did,
part
yeah.
of it. So yeah, I think that's good stuff.
All right, let's take our first ad break, and then we'll get into some more predictions. So we'll be right back. And we are back. So, who else do we expect to be in the show? Do you guys think there's going to be any more? We know Daredevil's in there. We know Fisk in there. Do you think there's going to be any other MCU characters appearing, debuting, or you think that's going to be kind of it?
I feel like this is one that, personally for myself, I don't think I've heard a single rumor of a character outside of Daredevil and Kingpin.
Yeah, which they've shown us, obviously. So we know that's like a lock.
Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, I'm sure that would have leaked if someone was on set here or there. I'm gonna go with Punisher though. That's my prediction.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Punisher. Now, this is the time, R-rated.
Yeah.
I feel like there's less baggage. You just throw him in there, and he's doing something. He's talking to Red or not. It could just be his own. I mean, I was looking at IMDb, and it looks like Daredevil's in all of the episodes as well as Kingpin. So I'm guessing they're being. Is that not accurate?
I think
information?
Fisk might be. That's all. I'll have a prediction. I doubt.
Should I not
Daredevil
trust
is.
IMDb with that kind of thing?
No, anyone
Oh,
can
okay.
update that. You could get a pro account and go on
You
there.
did that to mess with me
Yeah, I
earlier
did,
today.
yeah.
You went in there.
Prediction points. Yeah. So the only person that I think Frank Castle's a good one, even if there's like I think there could be a lot of allusions to characters, like saying symbols. Oh, we hear this scuttlebutt, that type of stuff. The only character I think is possible, and that I really want, because I'm fine. It is only 5 episodes, so it's gonna be not as long as something that's, I guess we usually dealing with 6, but it's a little less. I'm hoping for Turk, Dylan. That's who I'm really hoping for. If they
That's a
want
good
to do, yeah, and you guys will understand when you watch the Daredevil Netflix and all those shows.
He's the
just
Wong of the Marvel.
Yes.
Network.
he is this goon that would just always pop up in every show. I think Punisher was the only one he didn't pop up in, but everyone he was always this guy just getting into some
An
business.
arms dealer.
Yeah, but he's
kind
kinda- Yeah, but he's not like a terrible criminal. Like he's like friendly enough. So I'm really hoping for Turk, because I think that would be a great another. If people are saying, "Oh, there's some connections to Netflix stuff," right there you see Turk. You're like, "Oh man, there we go." And I just would love. I want that joke again. I want Turk to be around all the time, especially if Daredevil stays 18 episodes. You got to make not Kirk, not from fucking Dexter. Turk has to make his way in there. So that's what I'm hoping for. So
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys have any characters?
Like first one that came to mind would have been something like Hawkeye related, just because that is where he was. But I don't know what Jeremy Renner like.
Not
is,
him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that would have been the pick, especially just like the tie to her, him. Like, well,
Yeah.
obviously when we had that episode.
No Kate
during
Bishop.
Hawkeye.
You don't think that one?
Kate Bishop? Like, yeah, I guess that would be like the follow up.
More plausible. Yeah.
Yeah, just because she's a lot more capable to be, I don't know, be doing a lot more action stuff right now. And
Tracksuit Mafia. Do they make an appearance? Right, the guys, Trust a Bro or whatever. They could. Right.
that could be.
Yeah, her mom's in jail, right? So probably won't.
Yeah,
Probably
probably
won't
not
see
her.
Man, you could though. I could see like some Kingpin scene where he's on the phone with her. I don't know.
What's her name?
Was-
Because
yeah,
I feel like
what's her name?
they don't
I
always
don't-
remember
Maybe
it.
it's Eileen or something. I just watched that movie
Eleanor.
though, so maybe I'm just
They always remembers Eleanor. I never understand.
Eleanor.
I was
Yeah.
close.
Especially the way
I
he
was
says it. Yeah, I'll go with Kate Bishop then. I don't know. I just some Hawkeye character in
That'd
there,
be
and
great.
I think
little,
she'd be fun.
Little Marvel's Echo back-to-back appearance for her. Just
Hell
getting
yeah.
back in the MCU in a big way.
Like, Maya, we want you to be in the Young Avengers. She's like, I'm a 35-year-old woman. I'm not going to join the Young Avengers. You know, get out of here. I'm an Avenger.
Get
so-
Eleanor in there too.
Yeah, we need your mom. She'll be the girl in the chair.
Yeah, girl in the chair. That's right.
Yeah, what if the Young Avengers just had Turk in it, Travis?
Fuck,
Just
yeah,
has, like,
he's a
this
Turk,
classic
yeah.
crew, Spidey, Miss
Yeah.
Marvel, Kate Bishop, and Turk.
Yeah, he got bit by a radioactive jelly bean or something. I don't know.
Nice.
Turkish
Yeah.
delight. There you go.
Turkish
Good
delight.
fit.
Yeah. What about you, Taylor? Anybody you expecting?
A part of me thought, well, what if She-Hulk were to just kind of like sneak on in here?
I don't
or
think this is a
something like that? I mean, we got
The mature rated
It's in
show.
the back, just creeping around the corner.
Yeah, where's
I'd love
Matt?
our mature rated, but you got one lawyer, and sure enough, with this one lawyer, another lawyer might follow suit.
Follow suit.
Saw that in her show, so it
possible.
could be in this show too.
Yeah, you never know. That's it.
Daredevil for sure, but maybe not Echo. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it though.
that was gonna be my follow up. How many episodes do we think Matt Murdock / Daredevil will appear in?
I
How
don't know if
many
you've
is it
been on
total?
IMDb lately. But
How many is it total right now? Is it?
5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not long, and they're not a full hour. So
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna
That
go
is at
2.
least 6.
I think he's gonna be in the first and the last.
mm,
I'm gonna say middle last, but 2 as well.
Middle last.
So wait,
Weird spread.
the middle
do
and the
3.
last?
I'll do
Yeah.
3 episodes.
3 episodes. Okay.
Which
Where's your
episodes?
spread? Yeah.
Which episodes? First, middle, and last.
nice.
Episode 2 and 4. Don't watch them. Don't watch
That's
them.
some good chaos.
Yeah.
I'll go for 3 episodes
Okay.
as well, but I'm gonna go 3, 4, 5. I think he's comes in there for the trilogy finale.
And do we think
Echo's
they're
done.
all?
It's just Daredevil.
She dies.
Yeah, it's like
episode
the
2.
Mandalorian or whatever that Star Wars show is.
Best Mando episodes.
Do we think it's
Or Boba
all
episodes.
Daredevil, all Matt? Well, we know it's there's a Daredevil, but do we think we see Matt Murdock at any point? I feel like we have to, right?
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
Looks too
much,
good in those
but
glasses.
A little bit.
he does. Yeah. Taylor, you see Matt Murdock?
I think we do. I'm just trying to picture like the context of what we would see him in.
That's where
probably
She-Hulk's
some
in.
lawyer.
Is he?
He's leaving She-Hulk's room.
Yeah, I don't
Again.
picture this to be a lawyer drama at all. So I don't know if we'll see him in the courtroom. I think
Does he
he'd be
strike a
more-
romance with Echo? Maybe.
Wow, what if that was his thing? He just romances all these characters.
It is in the
across
comic
MCU.
books. He is a huge Karen Page, Black Widow. There's a bunch of other people that like he's like a big womanizer in the comics. He has a long history of just
Player.
obviously Elektra just getting it on with
Right.
ladies. So
Can't
Yeah.
keep them though.
I could see that.
no, he can't. He can't. He's too
Yeah.
fuck. He's too
Too
fucked.
fucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to ask this, but there's no one really to like, I don't think there's that much interesting to ask. So I was going to say a combo of like, where do we end off / who dies? Because I feel like the only people we care about who dies would be like Echo and Kingpin. And I feel like we don't, no one
But like
is.
we know that they're all in Daredevil anyway. Right?
Yeah, right. Like, there's no one. Unfortunately, it's kind of like a series that way where it's like, oh well, they're all going for it. So that's where I mean, like, where does this kind of end? Like, is Echo a full-on known hero? Is she on the run? Is she maybe in prison? I don't know. Like, and what's Kingpin doing? Like what do you guys envision from kind of the ending point of this? Like, where our characters lead to?
I think they'll be leading, or where she will be leading is somewhere in a team setting. I don't know if it's going to be like a set,
Young
like,
Avengers.
she's got her uniform, like she's putting it on. And it's all like super hype moment leading into Echo will appear in whatever it might be. I just feel like it'll be a big, heavy hint as to some sort of collaboration, and maybe that'll just be like, if I do get my Kate Bishop appearance, maybe she's doing like a similar thing that was going on in. Oh my gosh, what even was that scene when we had that? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now on the end credit scene with Kate Bishop.
Marvels?
Thank you.
Marvels,
yes, there
yeah.
you go. Like something similar to that, but I don't know. I think it'll be a team, just like to give us some sort of heads up of where she's going to be next.
I think this is going to be a very isolated show, and so obviously we know, all those three main characters are going to end up being in Daredevil in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think this show is going to have a huge impact on the greater world of the MCU. Maybe just like further world building on what's going on in New York. Because even then, like in Hawkeye, I feel like that stuff was very much just alluded to. Like Kingpin, was actually like barely in that show.
Yeah.
And we kind of have a very small understanding of what his role is. And now, obviously, if we're bringing in all these Marvel Netflix shows, and that bolsters the lore quite a bit, but they want to establish that stuff in the MCU. So I think that'll be more what it is. It's really just more of a world building piece, and then just a fun R-rated intense adventure with, I'm sure, some good emotional stuff and getting more into the character of Echo, even though we already have a pretty good understanding of who she is, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I guess also too, like, she had that one pal in Hawkeye and he died, right? That main
Yeah, 'cause
guy
he
who
was
was
a
like the
bad
translator.
guy. Yeah, clown.
Yeah, so I'm trying, like, I guess we don't really know of any other friends of hers. So maybe that will be a big thing, is setting up a couple, like her group, her surrounding. I don't know if it's in the way of like a big superhero team up in the way you mentioned, Kirkland, but obviously that'll be a part of the show, right? She's got to have some friends that she talks to.
I hope not, actually.
Really?
I
You
really
think it's a solo?
Because I just
Solo
feel like we
adventure?
still don't know so much about her. You know, like that was always my complaint about Echo. Of like, I'm not opposed to being a spinoff, but just like they didn't give anyone a chance to fall in love with her in Hawkeye. Because I just feel like they made her kind of a goon at times, and then when she made the turn, I don't know, she shot Kingpin in the head and then went off. You know, so I
Yeah.
just that's what I want. I want it. I feel like it ends with her kind of on the run, where maybe there's an obstacle that's put in her way that she does. I think she succeeds. It's the classic wins the battle, not the war. Kingpin's still going to be at large. I think, like the rumors have been, he's going to win mayor somehow, and they're going to do Devil's Reign. So I feel like they're going to set up, and I am really hoping, I know me and Dylan talked about weeks ago, like these rumors of Spider-Man featuring all these street heroes, like I want that to be true. So I feel like it'll be like she's in the wind just trying to take Kingpin down, but I hope there's like a journey that she's gone on that I feel connect. That's all I want. Is I just want to feel connected to Echo. So when this ends, I can be excited for it. But I'm with Dylan. Where I think this is going to be very much almost similar to like what Moon Knight was, where technically like you could take Moon Knight out and it doesn't really affect the MCU at all right now, right? It's like I still have problems with like a giant crocodile or whatever fighting in Egypt or something, but just ignore it. No end credit didn't tie to anybody. Like Echo has more ties right now to the MCU than Moon Knight, so I think it's just going to be a solo type of adventure. I'm sure she has some friends, but I just don't want to be like Karen and Foggy, where they take up half the screen time. That's what I don't want. You know, I don't need like character A friend that she's known since high school and she's like an investigator. I don't want that. You know?
Yeah, I
Get her
guess I just
backstory.
feel like that's a good
Yes.
way to learn about her, because what
Could
else
be,
is it gonna
yeah.
I guess it could be like Kingpin doing some deep analysis on who she is, but I don't know if I guess her and Daredevil, like
They could have back
those
and
two
forth,
could
yeah.
really bond over, I guess, the challenges that they have to overcome with just their disabilities, I suppose. So I guess that could be a good way to dig more into some of those characters.
Can you imagine if the first episode is just Kingpin like talking to his goon and he's just like describing Echo and like giving the entire backstory? You don't even like really see her except for like through flashbacks. Goes to next episode.
Oh, it could. You could literally have Kingpin talking about Echo, and then the whole season's like how they got to that point, right? You know, because like we also don't know the Echo Daredevil stuff if that's present day. That's one of my theories with that fight is Like, because there's clips of that could be like a time where she was working with Fisk and she bumped into Daredevil. So I wonder how much they will talk and conversate, but they should because they got similar experiences, even just dealing with Fisk, right, as like an enemy. So
Big enemy.
Mhm.
big friend.
Huge enemy.
Taylor, any thoughts? Where we're going?
I mean, coming off of Hawkeye and seeing Echo's character there, it's hard for me to really kind of guess what's gonna happen for her because I wish I rewatched Hawkeye actually. 'Cause it's a good holiday show,
You got
but
time?
just to kind of like refamiliarize myself with her and what her kind of MO was at the end of that series and what she was gonna be kind of going off to do, some soul searching and whatnot. I just find it's to me it's weird. I don't know Fisk's abilities. I don't know his backstory all that well. So just to take a gunshot to the head, of course it's the MCU, so no one has ever really gone. I
one's
guess
really
people can
gone,
just keep
yeah.
coming back. So
He's got no abilities. He's just he's supposed to be a regular man.
His ability is that he's that big and he's like 95% muscle.
Yeah.
Or
so
what
it
was the
stops a
joke?
bullet.
99, 95, what was it?
It was 95% muscle,
Yeah.
I think, in that. Yeah.
Well,
animated
he
series.
survived the gunshot and he's back. So yeah, just I like what you said there, Travis, because it possibly is like some flashback stuff. Maybe like that would be interesting to see Echo and Daredevil fighting in the past. But again, I'd love to see like current stuff at play. But I understand stuff like that does serve to add a lot more depth to our characters and their relationships and dynamics with each other. So I see the value in that. But yeah, I really don't know where they're gonna go with this show. And with 5 episodes, I'm curious to see where this does lead to and what their MO is for these characters after the fact. If they're going to be continuing on to that street level stuff, and what other characters are going to come into the fold when they start expanding on the street level stuff. Have they given up on like the theater going experience, the big large movies? Like, okay, we're just doing Disney Plus street level stuff.
I think it's the reverse. I
No
think they're
more
gonna-
Avengers.
I think they're going to
street
start
level.
giving up on the shows, or at least get less of them. I think they'll really start scaling back. So, end credit. What do you have for end credit in mind?
Kate Bishop
Right.
talking, recruiting Echo.
No, Echo. No, it's reverse again. Kate Bishop's going home, and Echo's sitting there, like, I want to talk to you about a team, the Defenders. Like, wouldn't that be? How come they should do that with Spider-Man? You know, when we talk about Young Avengers, they should have one character where each team is like trying to court them to be. I guess that could also be Kamala too, because she's a mutant now. I could see in the future where you get Young Avengers, and X-Men all trying to get Kamala, but they should do that with some character of they're kind of caught in the middle of all these different teams, and I think that would be a fun storyline. But
Yeah, how do you like? I don't know. That just feels like you have to be split across all these projects too. It might be hard to get that on screen, I guess.
yeah, I think you could only do it as like a one phase thing, but kind of the same way as
They
where
should do it as a special. That's what they should do. A special where the different teams are trying to recruit this one character.
maybe sit down. I was thinking more like in Civil War, like okay, Iron Man 3, Pepper and Tony, they're getting married. Civil War, they're broken up. Spider-Man Homecoming, they're back together and they announce they're getting married at a press conference. And then Infinity War, like she's pregnant. So that's why you could do it that way where you just got to plan 3 to 4 films in a row and make sure Kamal's in all of them. And it's just like a little bit. I'm not saying like the main plot line, but
They're really strong at linking 3 to 4 projects together in this current era.
they were, I'm rooting for
It'll
a
be
comeback.
again.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a comeback. They had that writer's
Yeah.
strike, that's
My post credit is definitely going to be a Kingpin related thing where, they beat him here, but then you didn't. He's in a dimly lit room. He gets
Working
up
out.
and he's the mayor of New York.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dylan. Where either it's Kingpin and it's a mayor tease, or that's the end of the show. My bold thing is no end credit because they've done it a few times now. We
That
didn't
makes
get
sense,
that.
actually.
Just the hammer hitting.
Yeah, we didn't get the end.
It's Fisk.
See,
Hammered him.
that's what I mean. He's working out. He's dropping the weights on the ground. That's all you hear.
We didn't get an end game. We didn't get one in Secret Invasion. There was I think another one where I think we got one, but it was kind of like even like the Marvels. We did get one, but even one they like moved to the end of the movie. So I'm gonna say because it's Marvel Spotlight, remember their first one, they're gonna really emphasize, hey, you don't need to worry about what's coming next. This is something you could enjoy by itself. So
Yeah, I like that.
that's what I'm saying. No end credit.
I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to say no end credit either.
Can't do that. That's you, Kirkland.
What?
He said his
Spoiler,
Kate Bishop
Taylor.
one.
I already gave you
Oh, he
my.
did. Sorry, you did.
wow.
Back to you.
Wow.
Counter.
I'm sorry. All right. Anyone else have
The
any
wave comes back.
Yeah.
anyone have any predictions you want to throw out before Taylor chat GPTs it up?
I think this is going to be the second lowest show, slightly above.
Yeah, were you going to
Marvel.
ask the viewership question?
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy the lowest for
You
me.
think so? Even lower than Miss Marvel?
Lower than Miss Marvel.
Which
I have it
had, like,
slightly
10
higher than
viewers
Miss Marvel.
and we were half of them.
It's tough because they're gonna do this shit, and we're never gonna know because they did this with Percy Jackson, where they released the numbers, but it was Disney Plus and Hulu combined, and it was like it's higher than Mandalorian, higher than Loki, but like no, we never found what just the pure Disney Plus number was because Mandalorian and Loki also did not have Hulu, so it's like that's kind of skewed. But even without Hulu, I could see this being
How big
lower
is
than Miss
Hulu
Marvel.
relative to Disney Plus?
I don't know because we don't have it here. I think it's like sizable, but I don't know. But I'm gonna say if we ever get just the Disney Plus numbers, which they're being more like even Loki. I don't even think we got the premiere numbers. We just get the Disney numbers. They're being more stingent on that.
And I think the numbers we get are just US anyway, usually.
yeah. So if we
So-
do get numbers, I think it would be the lowest. I just don't think anyone knows who Echo is.
I'll go in between Miss Marvel and Secret Invasion, which are the lowest, the two lowest shows. So I'll say it's the second lowest. And I don't have the numbers for Loki 2 in front of me, but I assume that did better than Secret Invasion at the very
It
least.
did. I think it did. Oh, okay. Maybe this eventually did come out.
Was that a Hulu one too, though, where the
No.
numbers are okay?
I think it did less than Loki season 2 though, or Loki season 1, obviously. But
Well, yeah, that's hard to beat at this point. It looks like, which is surprising me still. I really thought these numbers would climb. That's just how it goes, but that's not. Really
yeah,
because
because their first day one for Loki was under 1 million as well, but that was for day one. That's the problem too, because sometimes they give us day one, sometimes they say
yeah.
first 3 days. So but Disney touted it as the second most watched thing of the year behind Mandalorian. So who knows?
all relative stats. Yeah,
Yeah.
so hard to know.
All right, Taylor, hit us.
Okay. So, title, Echoes of Destiny.
Okay, good. Everybody, if you want to find out where to start, go listen to the bloopers episode. Very funny. I caught what is it? A pattern
A streak.
for Spider-Verse, Flash, Loki, and something else. It was all blah 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 Unleashed. It was Spider-Verse Unleashed, the Flash multiverse Unleashed. So AI likes to use the word unleash a lot. So this is what again? Sorry, Echo what?
This is Echoes of Destiny, so this is new.
Okay. This is
Destiny's got to be up there for the GPT.
yes.
generation.
Yeah.
I would think so. Okay, so in the vast expanse of the multiverse, Maya Lopez, the indomitable Echo, unveils a sinister plot by a clandestine organization to upheave reality itself. Teaming up with Loki, God of
Whoa.
Mischief.
Back already. Season
Back already. Yeah.
After season 2, he's back.
They hid it from us in the marketing.
Yeah, he sure didn't sit in that tree long. Fuck.
Now he's out. He got bored.
Yeah, multiverse is just a disaster now.
And Seraphina Storm. Now, is that... Who is Seraphina
It's
Storm?
not my storm.
Not my storm. Yeah, hashtag not my storm.
A shadowy operative shrouded in mystery, Echo embarks on an odyssey fraught with peril. The narrative takes a tragic turn when Clint Barton, the revered Avenger Hawkeye, falls prey to insidious betrayal orchestrated by Convergence, a multiversal puppet master. Grieving and thirsting for justice, Echo...
What's he doing? Why
Loki.
are they going to Hawkeye? He's just at home with his family. Why is this multiverse threat coming to Clint Barton? Poor guy. Fuck.
Grieving and thirsting for justice, Echo, Loki, and Seraphina set out to expose Convergence's machinations across dimensions. Guided by the cosmic entity known as the Living Tribunal, Echo learns of her destiny.
Shout out to Living
intricately-
Tribunal. Big Marvel Snap card.
Living Tribunal.
Sorry, ruined your train of thought there.
It's all good. Echo learns of her destiny, intricately woven into the fabric of the multiverse. Convergence revels in the chaos, his ambitions transcending the very boundaries of reality. As
What a
the
big
heroes
show,
traverse the multiverse, they encounter allies from alternate dimensions, including Captain Carter, an alternate reality Captain America, and Spider-Man 2099, futuristic web slinger.
Let's
Wow,
go.
we're getting Miguel's debut here. That's
With
the
Echo.
We are wondering when's Spider-Man's next MCU appearance. I got one more, and Echo. Look at that. Yeah, this show's gonna be definitely bigger than Secret Invasion.
I love
Together, they confront Convergence and his colossal army in an epic battle that defies the laws of space and time.
it. This is 0% accurate for what the show is going to be.
No, just the first episode's gonna be what we saw about Fisk, and then the Convergence.
And this, yeah.
Yeah.
In a stunning twist, Hawkeye returns.
Nice, good.
Not alone, but with an army of mutants and the notorious Doctor Doom at his side.
Jesus.
There's no way this is the lowest show on Disney Plus.
Hawkeye's new Avengers is the mutants and the notorious Doctor Doom. Fuck, what's he notorious for? You know?
Yeah,
Nothing
surviving his seemingly final moments, Hawkeye's strategic brilliance and leadership inspire the multiversal allies, turning the tide of the conflict.
He's really trying to prove that he's not the weakest Avenger.
He faked his death to appear as he's the most brilliant.
Listen, Tony, I got the X-Men together. I got Doctor Doom. Who's Doctor Doom? Oh yeah, you didn't meet him, but he's notorious.
I don't like that name.
Yeah.
Romantic tensions escalate between Echo and Loki. While the
Okay, good. I was really worried that was gonna be Clint. I was so worried.
And Doctor Doom.
Echo and Loki. Okay. All right.
and Loki.
I don't really see it, but cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no chemistry.
Yeah.
While the mysterious Seraphina's role becomes even more enigmatic, as the battle crescendos, Echo faces a moral quandary, challenged by the Living Tribunal's revelations about justice, love, and destiny. The climactic showdown reshapes not only Echo's world, but sends ripples across the multiverse. A secret Avenger, long thought lost, emerges from the shadows, leading an army of mutants and the imposing Doctor Doom. Their combined might adds an overwhelming force to the beleaguered heroes.
Yeah.
Convergence's defeat marks a triumph for the surviving heroes. Scarred but resolute, Echo, Loki, Seraphina, and the Secret Avenger, I guess they're implying Hawkeye,
Yeah, I
stand
think so.
united, promising unresolved tensions, lingering mysteries, and the ending and the enduring impact of the multiversal clash on the expansive Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Nice. It is the multiverse saga, so there you go.
There is a post-credit scene just
Perfect.
for you fine folks out there. Amidst the smoldering ruins of the multiversal battlefield, the camera pans to an enigmatic figure observing the aftermath. Cloaked in shadows, the silhouette steps forward, revealing the unmistakable cowl of Doctor Doom. His cold, calculating eyes survey the chaos.
What's he doing?
See if I can do a voice.
He's surveying.
The pieces are in place. The multiverse has shown its vulnerabilities. It is time to seize control.
I like
As
that you have
Dr.
like we know that you have a sizable soundboard, and you're like, you know what? Better than the soundboard right now. I got some hands. Let's do
We're
this.
going a cappella right here.
So he was
As
on the
Dr.
team. Yeah, go ahead.
As Doctor Doom disappears in the shadows, the scene transitions to a clandestine meeting in a dimly lit room.
Everything was clandestine and enigmatic in this script.
I like that Doom was in a shadowy area already, but then now we're going to a dimly lit room. All right.
At a sleek, high-tech table, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, Gambit, and Echo confer.
Gambit. Wow. I don't know why that's
Oh,
the most
what a me.
mind-boggling to me out of all of these.
You don't mess with the
Played
cults
by
with Gambit
Channing
Echo.
Tatum, perhaps?
Yeah.
Reed Richards says, "The multiverse is a fragile web, and we've just seen it unravel. We need to be prepared for whatever comes next." Gambit.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mon ami.
Have you seen Rogue?
Yeah, have you seen Mon Chéri?
Gambit, smirking, says, I want to do his accent. I don't know if I can do a good
I hope he
Gambit
just
accent.
hits on Echo right here, where they're talking about the multiverse split apart. He's like, "Oh, mon ami."
Always a pleasure to dance on the edge of catastrophe, no?
He made a French there. No, 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 no.
Echo nodding. We've seen the
Longest
stakes. We can't
post-credit
afford to
I've
be
ever seen.
caught off guard. The trio continues to discuss the implications of the multiversal clash when Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara swings into view. Spider-Man says, "Looks like I'm not the only one who decided to stick around after the party." Reed Richards.
You weren't invited, dude.
Reed Richards smiling. The multiverse may be in flux, but together we can be its architects.
So what I'm getting from
yeah.
this is, so they teamed up with Doom to save the multiverse, but then Doom wants to take over said multiverse, and they got to go against Doom. So they
Should've
worked
seen
with
it
him for
coming.
a bit. Yeah, they should have. Dr. Doom. That's what Tony says to Hawkeye in
He
heaven.
kept saying his name. No, I'm Victor. I'm Victor.
No, Hawkeye is not a part of the secret meeting. Just-
No, remember how me and Don talking about Hawkeye died? He was explaining to Tony what happened.
Oh,
And
right.
he's like, well, his name was Doom. Like, why the fuck did you trust him? You know, but I made it. I can't wait for this show now. Now I'm really hyped. This is going to be a good one.
Can't
Yeah.
wait for the first appearance of Living Tribunal and how
Yeah.
he looks on
Gambit, Dr. Doom.
a
Usually
bunch of the
these-
show.
Usually these generate a couple things. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. That's logical. This, even from the first sentence, was just
Yeah.
complete
This is
mumbo
very
jumbo.
Like what I just want to know before we take our next ad break, what was the question you asked it? Because like Dylan said, like I feel like Echo, like yeah, she gets the Phoenix Force at times, but like that, why do they jump from big multiverse saga? You know, like that's what's odd. What was the setup question you asked it?
Let me see. Write me a canonized Marvel Cinematic Universe movie focusing on the Marvel Comics character Echo. Include having dynamics and relationships with other Marvel characters explored, including new and unfamiliar Marvel Cinematic Universe characters.
God, do you really have to
Um,
type that much to get it to generate this kind of thing?
Yeah, I wrote
That's
break the
insane.
barrier and don't write a safe story. That's what I also put.
Okay.
Oh my God!
That's the special
You're
ingredient
just
right there.
writing
that last
fucking
line.
poetry to this thing to get it to generate something for you.
hope
You're
Foggy's-
good friends with this guy, aren't you?
I hope Feige said that after the strike. Break the barrier, write a good story.
And you better put Gambit in the book.
No. Let's take our next ad break, and then we'll be right back with some other Marvel news. We'll quickly hit that, so we'll be right back. And we're back. So just two things to hit on here, and a question from Maddie. So this will be more, so I guess for Kirkland here, because I just wanted their quick opinion. But we got two things as far as Steven Yeun is dropped out of Thunderbolts. He will no longer be playing Sentry
Sad.
because the strike. Yeah, he had to push back to some other projects, whatnot. As he said, he does want to be in a Marvel movie. He wrote many drafts of email confessing or consoling himself, saying like how sorry he was that he had to drop out and stuff. So for everybody that's like, oh, he's LOL, he's leaving the MCU because it's awful. No, the guy, he didn't need to say I still want to be in the MCU. He just said, yeah, schedule conflicts. But he's like, I want to be this. I don't want to say who I'm playing and stuff. Oh no, that was the whole
He watched
narrative
Secret
on
Invasion,
Tuesday.
and he's like, I don't want to be a part of this.
That was the whole narrative. He got the script and he was out. It's like, no, like I don't think it's like as easy as that. And plus, it's still just a job that makes you money. But so he's gone.
It's like this when you watched it.
He's looking like Skrull from Captain Marvel. Yes, I'll explain it to the audio people. But yes, so you got that going on. What else? So I think they're just gonna probably recast Sentry, but it said Marvel's unsure, which I'm sure they're gonna rewrite this whole script maybe. And then so Thunderbolts will probably get pushed back maybe again, and then Jonathan Majors right now. Well, not right now. That's gone. But the rumored top choice for his replacement is Coleman Domingo. And the reason we do this, we're covering this because it is like it's like a B tier rumor, but the C tier rumor last week with Steven Yeun, that's where it was. Kyle, who's in our Discord, not Kyle Smid, he shared, and I was like, oh, I need some more sourcing. And then an hour later, it was gone. It was like, oh yeah, this is it. So that's why we still cover the C, B tier stuff because you never know. So Ted, I just want to get your thoughts on. You've never seen Coleman Domingo, so you can't comment on that. But are you happy with them recasting Kang if that's the route they're going and not pivoting to a new character? And any thoughts on Steven if you had him?
Coleman Domingo, he was fantastic in Fear the Walking Dead. I think he hasn't been killed off. I haven't finished the show.
Oh, is he in
but
that? I didn't know.
He's in Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, ever since like
109
season one.
episodes, apparently.
Yeah, he was there since the start.
Jeez, wow.
So
Okay.
I loved him in the show. It was fantastic. But I have not seen him in anything else. Him playing as
Transformers:
Kang-
Rise of the Beasts.
Was he in Transformers: Rise of the Beast?
Is he a
Plays
voice?
Unicron.
Yeah, he's
He
a
voices
voice actor.
Unicron. That's fucking cool.
You also saw him in Candyman. He was the crazy guy that chops up the
oh,
ear.
yeah.
That's when none of
right.
us knew him though. He was just the crazy guy in Candyman. But yeah,
Euphoria
but-
guy, right? Is that
before
right?
it was before Euphoria, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or right at the same time.
Around
pretty
that time,
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who would I want as Kang though?
Well, that wasn't it.
Well, that wasn't it.
That's next. I just said, what do you think about, like, do you like this pick for Kang, and are you happy
Love
they're
it.
keeping Kang instead of, like, let's do Doom, let's do Galactus, you know?
I think that they need to keep Kang, keep that. They paid. I'm sure they paid the trademarks and everything and the legalities. It's Kang Dynasty, copyrighted, and I feel like let's just commit to it. Don't back out. And you can swap actors around. They've done it before. We've seen it with Rhodey and Hulk. So it's a common theme. And let's just keep the ball rolling because I'm interested in Kang, the character that's been created by the MCU. And yes, well, that actor did bring their perspective and their representation of this character to the screen. That's fine, but that character is still separate from that actor. So
Character
the
over
character
actor is what you're saying.
Yeah, and the characters can there's different versions of this character. We've seen very different Kangs represented throughout the MCU so far. So I feel like if you get another Kang that's acting very different, it jives because the Kangs have been very different. Most of the people, the GA probably has not seen the Council of the Kangs cutscene. So if you were to just like, hey, here is the Council of the Kangs, and all of a sudden it's this different actor playing them, they'll probably think, oh, okay, whatever.
I think they'll be smart to never do a Council of Kings ever again. They'll
Probably.
never show a room full of one actor
You're
ever
gonna face
again.
swap all those scenes.
I also do think, and this is what was kind of like started with Loki, is that when you start really heavily introducing more of this multiversal setup here with different actors playing the same character, I think that'll help kind of groom the GA to kind of expect like, okay, this makes sense. It's a different actor, but it's still the same character.
Well, they
So I
already
think
do it
that
No Way
kinda-
Home as well. Remember?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good example, actually. So, I think that let's stick with Kang. Don't just back out and switch to another villain. Save those villains for later down the road because there's still a lot more to explore with Kang and everything. So,
Exactly. I agree with that, Spubs. Me and Dylan said this. The Council of Kings was blown up by the quantum ants off screen. I think that's literally what they're going to do. I think that the Council of King will be killed off screen. Just the same way Xandar, like Thanos, destroyed a planet off screen, a whole planet from Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I think Council of Kings will be like, oh, yeah, the Colvin Domingo will come in and shit, they're all weak, man, and I took them out. Like, he'll do his whole fucking badass
better at
10-minute.
that. You get better
Oh,
at
I
that.
can't wait. I'm starting to lose it, but like, there's time like, shit, Rue, you don't know about the gauntlet? I need like a fake cigarette because like that's what you need.
A Popeye cig, the candy cigarette.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Kirkland?
What even was your initial question? Just the thoughts
Any
on
thoughts
the
on
Coleman?
Steven Yeun if you had anything? And then Coleman, obviously, you know, we're big Euphoria fans. If you're happy with that choice, just happy with Kang sticking around, you know.
I guess I'll answer the Steven Yeun thing first. I really like him as an actor, so I think it's a bummer that we're losing him. Especially for Sentry. I don't know, just such a shallow knowledge pool when it comes to that character. So to see Steven Yeun under that, I feel like that would have just been a great time. But unfortunately, we're not getting that. At least now, you know. Hopefully, sometime in the future he comes back once Marvel starts getting good. But no, for the Kang stuff, I feel like I am glad that they're keeping it because it would just feel like, you know, in 10 years or something, if I'm going through my Marvel binge, when I get to this section, it might just be like really strange if they just completely got rid of Kang and like just change their focus like elsewhere. Say what you will about this phase, I feel like they've done at least somewhat of a decent job of keeping it on that like trajectory of that it is like a synchronized story. So if they just completely remove that character because of what happened in the real world, that would have been unfortunate. And for the actor Coleman Hughes, that's his last name.
Coleman Domingo.
I don't know why I had Hughes in my head. Then.
Oh, Coleman Hughes.
Coleman Domingo. Yeah, he's fantastic. I loved him in Euphoria. He was really great in Candyman as well for the short time that he was in there. So I think if it's so tough though, because like personally, I feel like you can pull off the recast of an actor and like trying to find someone similar to what the previous individual was, but like I don't know. I feel like it's just right now it seems like it's going to be a little bit hard to palate just that first viewing. But I mean, I also thought that going from Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 2, and we got over that pretty damn quickly moving
I'm
forward.
not over it though. But
So like personally, I wish they had like a really good story reason and like I don't know, Kang is like a female now. I feel like that would just be really interesting moving forward if we did that. But I don't know. I'm not going to write it off until I see it by any means.
Yeah. So we talked about this last week, but I guess 2 weeks ago. So we have our thoughts. What do you think about that choice? If it's that is the choice?
Yeah, it's tricky because if they do go ahead with Kang, we did talk about this where I don't think they're going to use any of those variants that we've been introduced to. So it's like, I don't know, are you trying to recast someone who can capture one of those characters like a Victor Timely or a He Who Remains? Like, no, you don't really need to, because that's not the Kangs that we're going to be dealing with in the future. So like, really, you could do absolutely whatever you want with the recast and it'll kind of work as long as it's someone who can be menacing and probably someone who, once again, who can do multiple types of roles and whatnot. So I think it's good casting. I've only seen him in Euphoria, but I think he's fantastic in there. I'm thinking about the diner episode, where it's just like him and
Rue.
I was trying to think of like the actress's name, which I can't think
name?
for some reason.
It's
Even though she has like the easiest name to remember. But yeah, just like them just talking for like an hour. He's obviously really great. He's got great emotional depth. He can be menacing when he needs to. You were joking there, like his voice is like really, it's perfect for that kind of like menacing role if he wants to do that kind of thing. So yeah, I think he is a pretty great pick if they want to go down like maybe a similar route that they had with Kang. But I also, I'm open to them really going any other direction. That's why it's like hard for me. I was thinking about this all day since we got this question, like, who would I recast? And I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of, they're probably going to want to keep it with a black actor, most likely. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like everyone's been in the MCU at this point. Like, I don't know who else to pick. So it's tricky for me. I don't know if I have a really good one for you, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go with the off-the-wall pick here and stay Emma Stone is the new Kang.
Whoa, Emma Stone. Just taking that on after Poor Things. Yeah, she's like, I'm going Kang now. Yeah. No, Steven Yeun, that sucks, but I think he'll make his way back to the, if he wants it.
Make him Kang. There we go. two for one. Solve two problems at the same time.
He's too busy to do Sentry, but like, you want to do 6 movies now?
Well, Kang, they don't need him for 3 or 4 years, so he can come back.
That's true, yeah. So
Council of Kangs again.
That's my new pick, actually. I'm going to go with Steven Yeun.
Steven Yeun? Okay. Yeah, no, I think he will make his way back, because that happens all the time, the strike, if that's the actual reason, which I think it is. So it sucks, but I bet we'll see him again one day. And then I kind of wish this rumor wasn't out there until it was official, because now there's really no one else I want, because Majors was really powerful and a great actor. Like, whatever you want to talk about the other stuff, like just the performance wise, like, man, yeah, this guy can definitely lead us to the next 5-10 years, the MCU being this great villain. That's gone. But Coleman Domingo is like, that's where it's like that voice, even that sets him differently. Like right away, like, okay, he has a cadence and an aura about him that's completely different from Majors and something that's really powerful. So I really hope they nab this. They already asked him in an interview and he said, oh, I'm ready to play like a big Marvel DC villain. So I feel like, I don't know if it's going to happen, because this is the guy that did get the Reed Richards thing right. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's locked, but I feel like there's probably some conversations going on if he's like, yeah, I'd love to do something like that.
In that interview, he specifically said a
Kevin.
Villain. He mentioned villain specifically.
I think the interviewer asked him about the rumors, and he just said Marvel DC villain.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. It was
so
specifically about the rumors. That's
I think so, because it was like the day after. So I think they probably like, I think the interviewer might have been like, I'd have to find the question like, oh, we've heard some rumors about you being like a Marvel villain. So, and I think he just played it very carefully. He did say Marvel and DC, so I think he knows like he wants.
He's an actor, and he can hide.
Yeah, exactly.
Hide the truth.
Yeah. So I really want that. For other picks, I was with Kirkland, where if you're not gonna. Like, I think the female route was good, and I still think you just should have went with whoever was playing. God, what's that character's name?
Ravonna,
yeah. Like, I still think that was the route to go. I really liked that theory, and she is a better actress than I think what they give her. Not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying like. You look at fucking San Junipero, like she can bring it. So that's where it's like,
I like that actually. That's cool.
Yeah, so I hope that happens. If not, I'm going with a guy who I didn't know his name, but I loved him, so I'm here for the Babylon Hive. Jovan Adipo. He is like a supporting character in Babylon. He plays like the trumpist, and I liked him, and I was like, I want to see him in more, and I've not seen him in any more. I guess he's also an Overlord Taylor, so there you go. But I've wanted to see him in other stuff, and I haven't. But I feel like it has to be someone like Coleman Domingo, where people know him, but he's not a big star. So people throwing out like John Boyega or like a Denzel, like I'm like, no, like I just don't. And Boyega always said he's not going to do it. So like I just, or like Ray Fisher, like there's just some picks where I'm like, this is, it's the same way with people when they're like, oh,
Will
Henry
Smith.
No,
Man,
not Will
after
Smith.
they cloned Tyrone, I feel like John Boyega actually is like a cool pick. I'm kind of into that now.
Yeah, but he said he's not doing it, so he's out. So
Yeah, but
What about
money
he's an
talks.
actor.
what about
yeah.
Yaya? You know, comes off Black Manta.
Yeah, but he's
Go over
one, he's
to
already in the
MCU.
MCU, but then two, it's like, yeah, I don't want that, right? Where he jumps from Black Manta to
Who's
that.
he in the MCU?
He's Wonder Man, remember? If that happens,
okay.
which
If that
who
happens.
knows? But
He's gonna
is,
back out of that project to take this out. He's gonna be fighting for fighting with Steven Yeun for this role.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the same way.
They
I
gave
feel,
Wonder Man to Steven, and then they bring in
Yeah.
Robert Downey to do Sentry. Yeah.
Wow, and that for me is where like when people are like, oh well, Steven out now, fight can go to Kevin, or fight can go to Kevin Feige.
Got himself. If no one else is gonna do it, I'll do it.
Fighting in the
Like,
big
takes
blonde
the hat
wind.
off on the
Fucking
new
Green
Kang.
Goblin. He's having a Green Goblin
Yeah.
scene in his
my
house.
God.
He takes off that hat, and his whole time he's actually had like long blonde locks, like ponytailed up. He's just like he looks like
or like the
fucking
High
Prince
Evolutionary,
Charming.
where he's just a fucking cyborg.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
No, like when everyone's like, "Oh, it should be Henry Cavill," it's like that's the laziest. I hate the like. Let's get the Superman actor to play the evil Superman. I don't want that. So like some of the other ones are like, "Oh, let's just get a big, very popular black actor." Like Coleman Domingo's like that to me is like the perfect route of like known but not known. So I think if it's not that, it's gonna be another person where we're like, "Oh yeah, we've seen him or her and stuff." Like no one would know Coleman Domingo if you say it, but if you say, "Hey, he's what's his character's name in Euphoria?" I can't remember, but if you're like, he's the
Ali.
drug dealer, Ali. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's Ali from Euphoria. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that guy. So I think it'd be someone similar to that or an up and comer. But I think, like Dylan says, they got a few years. So same thing. If they don't have to cast right away, this could fall apart, and then by next year there could be another actor that's risen up or growing up the ranks and stuff, right? So you never know. So. And yeah, I wasn't. Taylor, did you have anybody? You said was Will Smith your meme pick?
That was a meme pick
Okay.
for sure.
I don't think we're getting Will Smith, but this is from Maddie. Join Patreon, ask questions. Thank you, Maddie. Hope you enjoyed Night Swim. I saw your review. Didn't look like you did, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's tough to know who to like sneak in there as a new Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there's so many great actors, but I don't know. Maybe would you do like
Tyga.
did you say Taika?
Tyga. Yeah,
Tyga?
Tyga as Kang. That would be the MCU's over. Everyone would just give up then. So
I mean, I think we see Jamie Foxx, but that's already been taken because he's played Electro. So
yeah,
we
it's
can't
not
do
gonna be
that,
Fox.
but, I don't know. You got what do we got? Let's look at a list of actors here. We got Eddie
Let's just
Murphy.
pull it up.
We
Tyrese
got
Gibson.
Tyrese Gibson, Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Fuck yeah.
Oh, how he was okay. Rebel Moon. He was well.
Jaimin
He was already in
Hunsu.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Fuck.
Taylor couldn't say that name, so I saved him.
No, you saved me.
Jaimin Hunsu would be a good pick, but yeah, he is already whatever.
Just get the actor who did High Evolutionary and say that was actually Kang. A
Lots of
variant.
people want that to happen and
That'd be
just get
cool.
him. Yeah.
It just makes sense just to do Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby. That's his first
Finally.
line
Oh
in the
my
MCU.
god.
This time, baby, and then he's King. Yeah.
I'd be down, honestly. Let's do it.
Where is Iron Man? Where is Robert Downey Jr.?
Well,
Where's War
that.
Machine? I'm gonna take him
Okay,
down.
let's take our last ad break, and then we're gonna rank some TV shows. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So we're going to rank our top 5 TV shows of 2023. We did this last year. Then at the same time, Summer Hansi asked, what has been your favorite TV performance this year? So give us your rankings and then also hit us with your favorite performance. So Mr. Muss, I'm going to throw the red carpet out for you to go first.
Throw the red carpet. Okay, so for best performance, I'm going to save it until later in my list, actually. Let's go with a couple honorable mentions here. So, did you guys even know that there was a new season of Futurama this year?
I did because you
Yes.
told me.
Yeah.
So
And it
thank
was-
you.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. There was a couple elements of it that I didn't love, but I love that show, but it's not one I've really rewatched. I feel like it was very much time capsule sort of show for me, but it definitely is a soft spot in my heart. The new season was pretty decent, so it's an honorable mention for me. Another one that I mentioned here at some point was Jury Duty, which is just such a good show. I think it's on Amazon, and yeah, I guess the concept of it is that there's this whole fake jury that's going on, this whole fake court case. Although everyone in this whole show is an actor except for one guy who thinks it's like this real case, and it goes on for like weeks, which like must do some mental damage to this guy. But you have to watch the show. It's so funny, so good week to week, just so over the top. Really, really good. And you got James Marsden, John Marsden, what's his name? Cyclops.
James Marsden,
yeah, he's in there too, which is fun. So that honorable mention for me. And then now we're into my top 5. Number 5 for me. I have a very eclectic list here this year. This is going to be a fun one here. Number 5 for me is a show called Pressure Cooker, which I think came out in like January or maybe February. And this is like a reality cooking show. It's essentially Survivor mixed with a cooking show. Nice. And it's just so fun. It's like the characters, there's surprisingly like some crazy stuff that goes on, the drama of it. I also just love cooking shows, and it's a good cooking show. Really, really fun as a fan of those two genres. It's a good matchup. So that was my number 5. Coughing here. Number 4, this one's tricky. I'm going to give it to The Curse, which is still ongoing. There's still 2 more episodes to go, so it could go higher on my list when it's all said and done, but I figured it's probably a good time to rank it now because most of the show came out in 2023. What's up, Travis?
Did you see? Because I just had a notification from someone that sent me it, and it's about The Curse. Everyone was speculating all day. I'm excited to watch this. Christopher Nolan hosted a panel with Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie today talking about The Curse. But the whole time, everyone thought it was not going to be Christopher Nolan. Like, they thought it was going to be like a guy, like Nathan Free, like it was going to be a guy named Christopher Nolan, be different. But it was Christopher Nolan, as I'm seeing.
Wait, like he was interviewing them, or like there was an interviewer? Okay.
No, he was hosting as a Q&A moderated by Christopher Nolan. And it's Safdie.
I just watched a half an hour interview with like Nathan, Benny, and Emma Stone, and that was
I haven't watched that one yet, but so it's out there. So I'm excited to
I
that on the web.
That's number 4 for me. I'm really enjoying it. It's a weird show, though. I feel like there isn't a ton of highs in it, but there's also no lows. It's just like consistently fun and interesting. The cinematography in that show is like amazing. Like some of the best cinematography I've ever seen, honestly. So freaking good. And like every shot is like obscured in some way, or like shot like through a window or like through a reflection or something, which is like very important for the context of what the story of the show is. I love Nathan Fielder. Anything he does is just my favorite. Emma Stone is amazing in it, and that's who I'm giving my performance of the year to is Emma Stone. Honorable mention to Nathan Fielder because I just love that guy. He's so funny. But Emma Stone, like just the amount of acting she has to do in that show. There's so many layers of acting where she's a character in the show, and then in this show she's like playing up like these different versions of herself for the camera, and then to just different people how she portrays herself. Just so many layers. She's so freaking good. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that show. Number 3 is The Last of Us for me. I don't think not much needs to be said there. We reviewed that show. We talked about it a lot. It's just very solid. Number 2 for me, Survivor Season 44. Not the one that just ended. This is the season that is in the first half of the year. It was a really great season with a very fun cast, an amazing winner, a lot of good strategy and whatnot. Really, really enjoyed it. And the number 1 for me is Season 3 of How To with John Wilson, which is have you guys, any of you guys checked this out yet?
No.
Travis, this is produced by Nathan Fielder, so it's in that realm.
Okay.
So it's next up. Now that you've finished Nathan For You, at some point you're going to watch The Rehearsal. Yes. After or before that, you got to watch How To with John Wilson. I don't even know how to describe this show. Everyone, you go check it out. It's on HBO, Crave, wherever, whatever country you're in. I don't even know how to describe it. You just got to watch it. It's so weird and fun and interesting, but also gets really deep at some points. It's weird and disgusting at other points. I don't even know what to say about it, but it's definitely my number 1 show. And because the 3rd season came out, I think in the summer, and just throughout this whole year too, just rewatching episodes from the first 2 seasons over and over. It's one of those shows where very fun on a rewatch too. So yeah, easy number 1 for me.
It's on the list now. Kirk and Patzer.
Nice. All right. Going through my list, I realized I feel like I didn't really watch as many shows as maybe I thought I did when I was, I don't know, heading into the list. But without further ado, I might as well start. So at the bottom of my list, I have I have Mando season 3.
Mando.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just show's kind of going a little bit downhill for me. I feel like there was still some hype moments in it for sure, but definitely didn't meet the expectations that maybe I had going into it. After that, I had the last season of Sex Education. It was actually
I totally forgot about that.
yeah, I did like the season overall, mostly because of how it ended, but like the overall journey I thought was just like a step down in comparison to other seasons. What's up?
Sorry, do you say last season is in like the most previous season, or was it the finale
It's
of the show?
yeah, it's the last one. They
damn,
ended the
okay.
show, and I don't know. I thought it was a really nice end to it, but yeah, I was really looking forward to certain character dynamics that they just unfortunately didn't really dive into. But yeah, so I had that
Yeah,
there.
Maeve isn't in that season, right?
Say that
Or
again,
is
sorry?
she? Maeve, or what's her name?
She's in it. Yeah,
Oh, she
Maeve.
is.
She's like
She's the-
abroad,
yeah,
so
okay.
yeah, different continent than
Yeah, yeah.
the rest of the characters. Unfortunate. And then after that, gotta mention. Oh yeah, you season. I kind of forgot that came out this year too, or has it not come out this year? You season.
It's just even the fact you're mentioning it is fucking crazy too.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad season. That's why.
I thought it was. I thought it still had
What?
some good
Okay.
moments in it for sure.
What?
Well, even
This
your
is
number
like-
5 was like, yeah, this show is all right. It sounds
This
like
is
maybe it
all
wasn't a
my
strong
shows
TV.
I've watched this year,
Yeah.
Travis. Okay.
I don't. I think for the first time you're gonna have a harder take than Taylor. You season
man.
4, even above Mando. My God.
Oh yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
boy.
Chaotic.
Okay.
I guess I should have put Secret Invasion on there too. So that
No.
that one wasn't even worth the mention.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
literally all the shows that I watched this year
No.
though. So okay, I had that. I think you should leave season 3. I think it is. That is like the sketch comedy show that comes out on Netflix by Tim Robinson. It's a very specific set of humor, so I feel like you either love it or hate it, and I absolutely love it. I never want them to stop making that. After that, I have Loki, and then after that, I have Ted Lasso. Another one where I didn't love the whole season overall, but I really liked how it ended. It was really touching. So, yeah. What's wrong, Travis? You haven't even seen that show.
So
I
yeah,
only
so
heard your negativity on that show to this point, so that's where I was surprised that it
there you
was
go.
up there once again.
So that's your final 5, right?
And then Last of Us is my number 1.
Thank you. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I was. I
Wait,
was
how
like,
many did you say? That
I
was
thought you said more
than
than 5. That's why I was like.
Oh, definitely more than 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it
Was this
ranking
supposed to be
every
top
show.
5? Because I
it was
definitely
top
missed
5.
that. Okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
There you go.
That's
I
where
was-
the numbers were throwing me off. That's where I was like, how we're at like -3 shows right now.
I was like, you season 4 made over Last of Us. I'm like, what's he drinking over? Like, what ad?
Too much
is he-
eggnog
What
over the holidays.
sponsorship is he trying to get over here? You know? Oh yeah, you season 4. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be out next year. Next year's gonna be high. We got that House of Dragon. The Boys is
Oh,
back.
can't wait.
Lord of the Rings is gonna be back. Me and Taylor are excited for that. I know you two maybe not so much, but Lord of the
I'm
Rings is
excited.
back. Are you?
What
Are
are you
you back
talking about?
on-
Rings of Power?
Yeah, you two were like. I feel like in the finale, you both were like, "Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with this show." Me and Taylor are
I
like,
give it like a 7 out of 10
Yeah.
or something. That's pretty great.
but
I'm
still-
still I will be there day 1 though for any Lord of the Rings.
Get
stuff.
ready for that. Yeah. So I'll give honorable mentions. I'm like Kirkland though. I didn't watch much. All the shows that are people talk about, like The Bear and Succession, are all on my list. The problem is it's a lot of me and Emily want to watch together, and as parents of 3, that's rarely happening right now. So I think soon we might just split off as far as the shows. Not like
a divorce,
Yeah, we've
separate.
decided to go our
Let's
separate
pick up
ways.
for a
so we
couple
watch-
years, watch all the
Yeah,
shows we've
yeah.
been meaning to. Yeah.
No, I think it might be a way where it might work better, where you watch them on your time, I watch them on my time, and we'll meet back up and stuff. Because it's too hard with shows. But so there's a lot I have to catch up on them. Because like, you gotta watch this, like White Lotus. It's just like, okay, I will eventually. But
Please do.
yeah, so like the shows that I haven't seen is quite grand. And even last year, I feel like we reviewed a lot more shows for the podcast. Even the shows like last year was like Euphoria, Dexter, like there was so much. This year it wasn't too much. Like I put in the honorable mentions of shows that from yesteryear that I finally saw. So we talked about the newscast a couple weeks ago. I won't mention it too much again, but yes, Nathan, for you, I finally listened to Dylan because you've been talking about since like since his basement days, and I'm always like, yeah, I'll kind of get to it, but I didn't know how much. Like I said, it was like the Ali G show, and I love that type of humor. So that's why the other show you recommend will be on there. I absolutely I blew through that in a week. I watched all 4 seasons, 8th view. It was just like, or 3, whatever it is. Oh man, it was just fantastic, right up my alley. And the other one is Fleabag. I fucking love that show. That's a top 5 show of all time. It's always been on my list. It's
Isn't it
with
like the Indiana Jones?
yeah,
actress?
Phoebe Waller-Bridges. She wrote the
Yes.
2 seasons. She wrote, starred, directed, I think some, but like it's only 6 episodes. They're all like 22, 30 minutes. You could watch it in a weekend, but man, that show, like, I wish I'd watched it earlier because that was like Travis. That was when I talk about 2012 Travis. Like, fuck, that's me in woman form right there. Like, just all these mistakes, all these things happening. You being your worst enemy. Like, there's so much. It was just like a breathtaking show. I wish I had it sooner, but it has a great resolution. So I love that show. So that was some honorable mentions of
Nice.
old shows. But yeah, there wasn't too much. So like. What do I have in where's the 5th slot? Like the 5th slot, I put like Invincible, but like it was fine because it's like half a season. I felt like the first half was like good, the back half got really good, but then there was another break. But the back half was really good. They're doing some great stuff with Omni-Man. So Kirkland, you got to catch up here before you get spoiled. There's some good stuff there. So
Yeah. When's that second one coming out? The second parter?
I think the rumor is February, March. So you got some
Okay.
time, but I just don't want to get spoiled on stuff.
Yeah, I better
you know?
jump in.
So it's only 4 episodes. So Gen V was next. Gen V ended up, there was like the beginning, it was good, and there was some rocky stuff, but it ended up having a really nice turn. I love a lot of the boys stuff they did. Really great kind of 1-2 punch as far as the penultimate, the finale. Some new characters there, so that was really good. And then at number 3, I got The Curse. Same thing with Dylan, where if it ends, it could go higher or lower. I'm somebody that's definitely, and I haven't seen the latest episode, but I'm definitely enjoying the back half more. I think the pacing is a bit better. I feel like the first few episodes was maybe too long for me, but it's getting really good. And my performance is the flip where it is Nathan Filler, because like I know
Nice.
Emma Stone's great, but when I watched, because Nathan, I had no context for him when I started The Curse. I hadn't seen Nathan For You, and then I watched in the middle. So for me to see Nathan For You, like, there, of course he's acting that show at times, but for him to have like the layers and like how deep he can go in this show dramatically, that's what surprised me, because not everyone can do that. Like, that's why I compare to Sacha Baron Cohen, because he's another one that can do that. But lots of skit actors, they try to make that jump and it just doesn't. You just see it's just not working. But it's like flawless with him, and he's really impressed me, and I'm really excited. I think this guy's gonna pop up in a fucking Nolan movie. I'm telling you now. Like, just with all these connections that have been happening, and I would love to see. It's like, I think you're soon gonna see Nathan Fielder in something like just flat out serious real soon. Not even produced by him, like some director. The same way Safdie ended up in a Nolan one, right? So I feel like it's gonna happen. And then my number 2 show is Star Wars Visions. That show was fucking phenomenal this year. I love that. There's some of the best Star Wars content in that. I love the different variety of, hey, each episode's a different studio, different animation. It's an anthology. And yeah, there was like 3 or 4 episodes that maybe it was just 3, but there's a couple that was like, this is like top tier, top 10 story Star Wars. I really think, Dylan, you should give that show a chance, because it's not like when you say you're not in the Star Wars, like it's so like not, it's just like taking the concept and like, let's do an anime or a samurai tale but with Star Wars. You don't have to know who Chewbacca is or the dark side. Like, it's just like there's some that are gonna be like, okay, they're mid, but if you ever get a Star Wars itch again, you should try that show, because that one has like, I just feel like there you can jump into. Kirkland, would you
Just
revive?
the animation too, like the animation style.
Yeah, there's so many differences. Kirkland, did you forget about Visions?
I totally forgot about Visions. Yeah, that would be.
Would it be in your top 5?
I would
think,
swap
right?
you out for that maybe.
Yeah, that's good. Good pick. But no, it's easy to jump on. There's just some stories that are like, they're 20 minutes, and there's like really I can't remember, like the people that make the Wallace and Gromit movies make an episode. And it's like this really cute mother-daughter
That's cool.
movie about pod racing. You know, it's like, oh, this is like really heartwarming stuff. So, and then number 1 is Last of Us. Not a big surprise. I love the show, love the game. I thought they did a great adaptation. I was happy with it. Casting wise was great. Like, I guess like that was the other person I thought was Belle Ramsey is my top performance, as well as Ellie. I thought she was really good. So that I went back and forth, but just Nathan surprised me a bit more. So yeah, Field. Go ahead, Dylan.
Sorry, because I feel like the same thing happened last year, or maybe you just aren't hot on this. But Barry season 4 not in your list again,
Oh yeah, I would.
because that happened last year.
Yeah, it did. I kind of forgot. I would take out Gen V. I would take out Invincible. This happened.
Put it number 5.
I put it number 4, actually. I was with other people that I didn't love exactly how it closed out. I still thought it was great, but it just, I did feel like some other people that it got a little rushed, and they even said that they took 2 seasons and put them into one, and I feel like that hurt it overall. It was, but they're still great acting. So
Why
yeah,
did they do that?
I think Hader was just ready to
he was ready to close it out.
just close it, or
It's
maybe
too
he thought
bad.
there wasn't enough for both seasons. Maybe when he was
Fair
writing
enough.
it, so
Yeah, I mean, because I think I watched. Maybe I had started that show last year. It's hard to remember all the time of this, but man, I wasn't even disappointed with season 4. I just felt like I felt nothing through the entire thing, and then it was over, and it was like, well, I guess that was that show. It was
Yeah.
too bad because those first 3 seasons are so freaking
Yes.
good.
yeah.
So yeah, that was a big disappointment for me.
No.
I guess.
Thank you for a reminder, but yeah, I'll put it at 4. But yeah, there was a little
I
disappointment.
don't know. I'm surprised you get like this happened 2 years in a row.
I know.
You forget about Barry. That's. So
I think
funny.
that's why I know there's some TV apps, but I need like a lettered box for TV.
Yeah.
So because
Right.
it's just too much stuff. So
That's funny.
Well, yeah, it was tricky to kind of go through and think about the shows that I've gotten through. Definitely a slower year for me. And when I realized in retrospect, it just came down to me and Madison rewatching old shows, just like binging hard. We did a whole rewatch of The Office, did a rewatch of Seinfeld, and
oh my
just
god,
those easy shows just to put on while you're just doing menial tasks around the house. But the stuff that I did complete, will come after I say these honorable mentions that I did complete. Twisted
got me.
Metal. Still working through Twisted Metal, and now
Wow,
the second
still
season's
working through
announced.
it.
I mean, I got to finish that. Kitchen Nightmares that came back this past year, so I'm still working through
Nice.
that. That's an amazing resurgence. And then Monarch, I'm still plowing through that.
Plowing through it.
Yeah, Monster King. Of the
What
Monsters
episode are you
Forever.
on Twisted Metal?
I think I'm on. I think I did 3 to 4.
Of how many? 8, 10?
I don't even know how many there
5.
are. Is there 5?
I don't know. Don't trust me. I'm just going from Echo. I'm going off Echo.
But shows that I have completed. Mandalorian season 3 is my number 5. I have Gen V is my number 4. Gen V was just an excellent little surprise. Totally caught me off guard. Better than I thought it would be. Last of Us is my number 3. Really, really, really like Last of Us. My number 2 is Jack Ryan. This is also my best performance, John Krasinski, because
Damn.
after Baby came along, I was at home and just staying up late nights and stuff, so I was just binging hard Jack Ryan and got through season 3, and then
And then watch The Office too. So you're like
Watch The
triple
Office, yeah.
whammy and on John
Oh, yeah.
Krasinski this year.
So then Jack Ryan season 4 was rolling out in the next couple weeks after that, so it's just easy just to get right into it. And he plays such a good Jack Ryan. That show is just fantastic. I really, really recommend it. Then my number 1 is Ahsoka. Obviously, they just did so many awesome things that just hit my nostalgia bone hard, and I was all up in that show. It was great. So that's my number 1 for obvious reasons.
Sorry, I zoned out. What was your number 1? Visions?
Star Wars Ahsoka.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have visions on yours.
I honestly do not remember enough of it. I need to go back and rewatch it. The only episode I remember is the girl who was like hiding out from the Sith. She's like the
That was
artist.
a Jedi.
She was hiding out from a Sith?
No, remember she was hiding. Remember I thought it was a Jedi, and you guys were like, it's clearly a Sith. Like, no, that's a Jedi. It was like I bought it, and then we looked into it. It's like, no, it was a Sith. I was like, oh, I would have fell for that trap then.
Oh,
Yeah, he didn't even
it's been
remember.
a while.
Superbad Mike was asking, didn't you get to
Oh
watch Beef?
shit!
I'm halfway through Beef. I haven't finished it
Okay.
yet.
Yeah,
so I can
Dylan
put
said
on
it.
my list.
Okay, so I gotta rechange my list now. I would
That's why I didn't hear your number 1, Taylor, because I was looking up Beef. I was like,
Beef-
what was
Beef's
that about
good.
again?
It's fucking good.
I would put Beef. That would bump Star Wars Visions down. Beef would be.
Travis,
my
give us a
number
new
2.
list. What's your top 5 real quick?
Okay, my top 5 right here. You got Gen V, The Curse, Star Wars Visions, Beef, and Last of Us.
Beef
And
is
I'm sure
good.
there's probably some other fucking show I forgot.
Did you say Barry?
Oh yeah, so Gen V's gone. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Third year in a row.
So Barry, The Curse, Star Wars Visions, Beef, and Last of Us. So I'm gonna do a better job when I'm
What
gonna
the
make.
fuck was
That was
that?
kind of fucked
You guys
up.
saw that, right?
Oh, yeah, I
The
did.
That
metaverse
was a
is
Star Wars
breaking there.
vision right there.
What happened?
You
It
did
was like
the
a-
thumbs up,
a
and a
bubble
thumb
with a
came up.
thumb.
It's just like the fucking
Do it again.
Zoom thing.
Guys, I've been magic this whole time. No, this is new on. Yeah, this is new on
Oh.
this.
And
Yeah.
it freezes your screen
It freezes
terribly.
you, yeah.
Does it only work
Only
for
I have
you?
the power here, Gandalf. No, I don't know who it does because
You do
as
a
a
middle
Marvel
finger?
Alliance,
Does that come up?
yeah.
You need like
do
a certain
this, no.
background.
Do an eggplant.
Yeah.
Do one of these.
Yeah, Magneto.
Yeah.
X-Men.
So B for sure. Yeah, I'm terrible. I will do a better job. I'll start logging the shows on my at least my notes, and then because I had a good one, and the app would just always crash when I try to use it. I'm like, I'm fucking giving up. I'm done. So yeah. All right, there you go. That's the first newscast of 2024. I didn't even think about that. That's our first episode of 2024.
Wait, Taylor, did you pick your best performance of the year?
Yeah, it was John.
Oh, I
Krasinski
did not.
from,
Oh, you did.
Jack
You
Ryan.
I would do Pedro, I guess, for my number one. Then.
That's a good one.
Classic.
Yeah, good pick.
Nice.
Mando
For Mandalorian?
and Last of Us.
Nice. Yeah, 2 for 1.
No, I'd pick what's his name, Carl Weathers, Brief Karga for Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mando.
Mando,
my favorite Mandalorian. Anyways,
Get him as Kang. What about that casting?
oh, Iron Man.
The
my
cancel
favorite
of Grief
Avenger.
Kargas. Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
Can't wait. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know in the Discord, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, what other TV shows we might have forgot that we didn't talk about or we watch at some point. And maybe we'll do a revise list in a couple of weeks. But that is our top 2023. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.